Hi, TWeK Racing here. You're joining me for 5 practice races today at Brøndby Go-Karting Center. So we're a mixed field of faster and slower guys, but mostly it's pretty fast guys here. This guy just completely brakes much more than I ever anticipated, so I just hit him so hard. I'm so sorry for that. I just managed to squeeze through that gap there. So we come up here. And the cart 2 carts ahead is one of my good friends called Dennis. So usually I'm faster than him, so I'm expecting to overtake at least this guy, number 8, pretty soon. He's still braking in weird places. This is a pretty fast flowing track for an indoor track. And of course I'm pretty heavy. I weigh around 85 kilos and most of my opponents weigh around 70. So it's kind of hard to keep up with them, at least from a weight perspective. But thankfully I'm a bit better than most of them. Skill-wise. I managed to sneak up the inside, so that move's done. Go slightly bit defensive through this turn. Here you just want to hug the apex all the way around. This is actually one of the corners I'm not really sure what I want to do at. I'm trying to stay close to the wall on the right. And especially there, just trying to hug all the apexes so I don't drive too far. So now I'm right behind my friend here. He's taking a very wide line into this corner and sliding a bit. And as well losing some speed through there where he has more speed out of the corner. I need to get closer to that inside apex on the right hand there. Here, just lunge it up and go tad deep, but he goes for the switchback. Keep him here behind with the slightly defensive line through the last turn. So you're coming up the main straight here. This is just completely flat out. You start braking here, trying to avoid jumping and getting as close to that wall as possible. Sometimes you have to break through that corner. I'm not really sure what's the best. I don't break through that corner, but I know some of the really fast guys actually do, and some of them don't. This track really suits a lot of different driving styles. As we come through to pass my other friend here, in number 5. That was basically it for race 1. Now into race 2. We're just doing these short races. Of course, like I passed him there, and then from there on, it was just a lot of laps of me trying to catch the guys in front. I never really caught him. But so here we have one of the employees in cart number 11, and in cart number 3 we have my friend. So I really want to catch up to him. This is Sebastian in that one. He's getting fast. He started karting like not that long ago, but he's really picking up speed quickly. He's also been driving quite a bit the last month, really intensely. So as you see, number 11, he's very good, so he's already passed. So now it's my turn to try and find a way past. Cart number 3 was actually pretty good today, or yesterday. I'm just going to try and see if I can get up close and then throw it up somewhere. Often with these indoor tracks, not that prone to like huge mistakes. So you often have to be kind of decisive when you want to go for the overtake. We'll try and go here and see if I can get on the inside, but the girl is there. We had a girl this race. She was just driving around, trying not to get hit. She picked up some pace. Well, a good lap around this track is sub 32. At least in summer times. These carts go very slow at summer. They should go like at least a second faster. But here, really throw it up the inside, and I kind of tap him quite a lot. I wasn't really satisfied with that one. he wasn't too mad about it. I think he didn't know I was going to come there, of course, because I came from behind. But I think in my own opinion, I managed to get out the inside there, so. And he didn't see me in time, so he turned into me. This guy trying to go for the inside and try and give him room and try and give him space on the outside as well here. He passes by. It's well done by him. I was kind of annoyed at this because I was just trying to be sweet to the first guy. I don't know why, but threw it the first time. And then after that, we just threw it up. And then the other guy came along as well, also trying to give him space on the outside. I think the guy in the white helmet is the guy I got pretty annoyed at the end of this, like the final race here. This is not the final race, but at the end of the final race, I got pretty annoyed at him. He didn't do anything too harsh. And here again, trying not to bang into the girl, so that just lost me a ton of positions. I try to go up the inside here, but he just squeezes me into the wall. And this was my friend. I was not really satisfied about that. I was like, okay, he's driving tough. So, at least now I didn't feel so bad about the move I did earlier. The late lunge dive bomb I did to him earlier. Because he kind of squeezed me into the wall right there in a straight. We go like 65. So you can easily climb under those walls if you go too quickly into them. And he loses a lot of time through that corner. It's a really difficult corner to nail properly because you have so much speed and you need to brake while turning, and that's always difficult. Here I'm gonna go for a savage lunge that just completely fails. So what you see happening there is just basically I see a gap opening up on the inside, thinking I can go in there, but then he's going for the gap of the inside of the guy in front, so that just completely demolished both of us. That puts me back behind my other friend. This is Dennis in front of me now. He's for some reason braking through that corner as well, not really using the entire width of the track. Through there, maybe he's going a little bit defensive, not to get overtaken. But for the majority of time, in all these heats, he was kind of just letting me go every time I really kept on pushing. He was just turning out to the side and letting me go by. But yeah, we get to see it up close and personal. As we try and find our way past this little girl again. Getting close here. Giving him a few love taps. So now he's like, yeah, okay, you're faster. I'm gonna let you go. Like, fair enough, thank you. But let's move on. I need to catch up to my other friend, Sebastian. That's the goal of this one. Trying to just get close to the apex, early on the power, stay on the power, don't slide, all the regular stuff. Sweet. Trying to catch up to this guy ahead. And the race was going to be blown off before I ever got a chance to get all the way up to him. So now we're going for third quarter of racing. The first quarter we only had one race where I was driving alone for most of the time, and the second quarter we had two heats, two races, and now we're going for two races again in the third quarter. Right now we're just out warming tires up and getting everybody out on the track before we meet for the rolling start. But this time I was right behind Dennis out of the pits, so I left this in just for analysis purpose, so he can look at his lines from behind and see what's going on, see where I catch up and how quickly I catch up, and where most of his time is lost and stuff like that. So we're gonna Mostly to me it looks like he brakes too much. And at the final corner in the end of the straight here, he also slides too much. I'm also jumping quite a bit around. As you can see right there. Jump, 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 jump. Completely missing the apex by like a mile. We're getting out here. Now we're really close to him. Getting all the way up here. He's completely overshooting that corner. Very far away from the apex there. Still, he's like a meter away from the wall. Like a meter away from the wall just makes him have to travel that much further. I can just float up the inside here, and as you can see, people are starting to bunch together in front. So we're getting ready for the 4th race of the evening. These races were very short, and they're not actually measured by who was finishing first, but it was just time attack. But it was set up like it was really races. It wasn't really. Usually we tried to put the faster guys behind, so they had something to work for. As you see, tons of contact, and Dennis flying up my inside. He has my inside, and this number 22 guy, just like in the first heat, is just braking completely random in a straight. That just gave me the position here. So now I've had this vendetta against this guy in the red helmet, because I felt like I was faster than him, even though he got like fastest laps. I always kept like catching up to him in the first race, and then losing track time to backmuggers because it was more gentle, I think. Not sure. He might also have been just more decisive in that, but I feel like I was more continuous in putting in good lap times. So even though he had a faster peak like lap time, I would still drive at a quicker average pace. You see, this number 10 guy already pushing. That's the guy in the white helmet. Pushing number 18 out into the wall. Also kind of tapped him there. I wasn't the biggest fan of this guy in the white helmet. He notches the way through. As you see, number 22, like really just driving right in front of me there. He tried to do the same to the guy number 18, but he was too close to the card in front, so he just pushed him into the wall, and then he just like did complete same thing to me. So he almost pit maneuvered himself as I slam into the back of the guy in the cart number 15, as he loses all his momentum out of the 90-degree turn. Okay, there's a lot of flat-out time, like on the throttle in this track. It's often like that in rental karts. We're flat out all the way through here. I do a slight brake here. No contact and through. I was actually pretty happy about that one. Didn't leave a lot of space. I threw it up the inside, and got past, and he had the opportunity to do a cutback, but he didn't go for it. So now it's just a matter of catching up to the pack, but they're fighting quite a bit. That's good for me. It's gonna mean that it's gonna be easier for me to catch up. I had no idea that guy was gonna come from behind. I didn't even know he was behind me. So he was very good at staying sneaky. Right there you see number 18 just going completely slow after number 10. Again, push somebody wide into the wall. It's kind of like the theme for this guy. Like the guy number 10 and 22. They're really good. I think I'm pretty much on pace with them, but they're just driving more aggressively than I was. I still have had like big hits and like not so clean moves. I had quite a few contacts during my moves, so I wasn't really proud of those, but as other people start to drive more aggressive, so did I. Wasn't planning on it, but did that by accident. As he turns right in front here, he goes for the switch, but it's not gonna make it, so he's just gonna tuck in behind number 9. Number 9 is like way faster. He's a really good driver. He's just gonna fly away. He's gonna catch up to number 22. If I were to give like a track guide, I would say here, stay as close to the wall to the right as possible. Just flat out, still flat out, still flat out, still flat out. Start braking here to avoid the jumping I got there. Stay close to the apex and carry a lot of speed out. Flat through that corner, tap the brake there, full on speeder. And then stay close to the wall on the left. Cut in there, carry speed through all the way out. Stay close and cut in, still flat on the gas. So if I'm just going to talk throttle, I'm going to be full throttle. Still full. Gonna stay full. Stay full. Maybe a tiny lift. Brake. Full. Full throttle. Staying full. Not braking here. Not lifting. Sometimes lifting a little bit, but not really. Braking there and then full throttle again here. And then for the final braking zone would be right there. That was a bad lap to do that on. We're going for the... This is how it was set up every time when you're going for a rolling start. Just meet up on track. The guy in front would have his arms, like his arm in the air, the hand, and then it would go to like 3, 2, 1 fingers, and then go, go, go. You can see 2 carts ahead of me. I spot the girl. I'm not gonna be in that line because she's gonna go slow. Boxing number 10M to get past. Trying to avoid too much contact here. Staying in. Going for the move there. I have a tendency to fuck up in that corner when or mess up in that corner when I go for a move. If there's 2 guys, like one guy in front of the other, then when I go for the dive bomb, or the dive bomb on the one guy, and then the other guy is just gonna be on the apex, but he's gonna be so slow that I'm gonna hit that guy. And I did that mistake quite a few times. I really need to learn that it's not gonna be a good passing opportunity if there's 2 guys following very closely to each other. I'm just gonna hit one. Really just nudge my way through. Not the cleanest. That I feel like I could see the gap and I could place my cart there, but he just didn't want to give room as soon as I was there. Here we go, really try and get over speed on him on the way out. Completely failing that. It's going super wide so I can take this inside. Here, slightly on the brake to get the cutback. Cutback has worked. Not clear. We have this guy on the inside, giving him room, and not giving any room there. He's just gonna fly up and tap me out. It doesn't look that like aggressive, but it was definitely as aggressive. It's a lot of my dive bombs. There's no contact because I spotted him. Normally I would just turn right in. That would cause like a big hit. Well, I still got a hit there. And he even pushed me so wide that I could not like exit the corner. the normal way. He didn't leave a car to it and the outside. He goes for the exact same move here, the exact same line. And here I squeeze my way through again. I'm like, sorry man, you didn't see me. Like, when you can just barely squeeze your way through, but people don't know you're there, they have a tendency to just turn in. And then you see my wonderful legs, all the jumping around, really getting good, nice and close to that apex right there. Very nice and close. I was pretty pissed at this guy right now. I just wanted to catch up to him and overtake him because I knew I was faster than him. Just not through traffic because I like to feel that I was more respectful in my overtakes, but you can leave your opinion if I wasn't. I definitely still have a lot to learn when it comes to overtaking and avoiding contact. I believe this was... no, it's not now. Got all the way up here. I'm not sure if my line is the best line out of that corner. There we go. Too far away from the apex. Trying to get better speed here. Maybe to go for dive bomb, but it was not going to be possible because he was driving defensive here. He dives up the inside and squeezes him out. Squeezes him right into the tie wall. It completely removes, just like he did to me, but I broke not to hit the wall. But this guy had no chance because he didn't break. It just got squeezed into the wall and I just rammed right into him. It's actually a pretty hard hit. My visor just like completely clamped down. So I make the biggest mistake of the entire day. The thing I said that I really need to work on was that thing. When I want to overtake one guy and there's another guy right in front, so I just slam it. As you see, we passed the red light, so now the race was actually over. Everything was over, so just driving slowly, not really caring about getting past because it's not really going to matter in any sort of way. I'm not going to catch up to the guy number 10, but it was some good races. It was very fun. I got a bit frustrated at the end, but looking back at it, it wasn't really that dirty against me. Lewis was, in my opinion, very aggressive. He did punt a lot of guys into the wall, and he also pushed me. So, but anyway, thanks for everybody for racing, and thanks for watching. It was a lot of fun.